policy.
I call Melissa Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's a pleasure to rise to contribute on this debate, and I'd like to begin by saying that it is very rich for that member to actually comment about this government's housing policy. When National came into government back in 2008, the previous 9 years of Labor government were known as the slum landlords for the condition of the houses that people were living in. They were run down, they were in the wrong place, it was cold, people were getting sick. We know that good housing is important for health and well-being of families, and we know that, and we had to put money into that. 347 million homes, $347 million was spent on home insulation, sir, because those homes were run down, Labor mismanaged. Sir, the national government is legislating right now to build more houses because we know for a fact that the biggest single influence of housing affordability is the lack of supply of new houses. And local councils actually play a big role in freeing up available land for housing across New Zealand. And I think earlier some member talked about how we are legislating to consent 39,000 new homes. And they thought that was a bad thing, and they were actually opposing it because currently we only consent about 3,600 homes, and I would have thought that making more new houses available to reduce the cost of was a good thing for new home buyers, that having more available would actually create a situation that they might possibly pay less. And the Labor Party, in the meantime, come up with that notion that cashed up foreign buyers coming to New Zealand to buy our properties is bumping up new prices. How very original. Let's blame the foreigners. This is the kind of divisive politics that Labor really shows they are in fact desperate. How pathetic and how offensive. Because I do really find it offensive because I often get mistaken for a foreigner because of the way I look. And I think this is in fact awful that Labor is playing this politics. Well, there is very little evidence that shows that foreign buyers are the cause of house prices being a bit higher. History has shown that we are pretty good at doing that ourselves, actually. A BNZ survey shows that only around 3 to 4% of house sales are to foreign buyers. And unlike what Mr. Phil Twyford tried to say, overseas buyers could also get around Labor's policy simply by finding someone else to buy the house for them and hold it in trust. It's absolutely ridiculous to blame foreign buyers when the biggest chunk of overseas buyers are actually Australians. But wait, hang on, they're exempt from the Labor policy, that's right. I could go on, but I'll stop by saying that Labor's policy would also possibly clash with a number of free trade agreements. And considering the Labor actually supports free trade agreement, I think that is ridiculous. Mr. Chair, the national government is focusing on making a real difference to house prices. If we take a look at Auckland, for example, and I know that Phil Twyford talked about Kiwi Build, let's put it, Phil Twyford Build, saying that they can provide 100,000 homes under $300,000. I mean, that is ridiculous, considering that the average land price in Auckland is more than $350,000 in Auckland. Sir, if you look at Auckland, for example, the housing market needs about 300% more new houses than we currently have, which means over 12,000 new homes a year needs to be built. And the new Auckland Housing Accord will see 39,000 new homes, and that will go a long way in addressing that lack of housing supply, sir. We're streamlining the Resource Management Act to reduce the red tape around building new homes, introducing 6-month consenting limit for median projects, and we've launched an inquiry into building material costs, which often goes towards the higher cost of building and higher price of homes. We want to keep interest rates low, making savings for Kiwi families, especially moving into their first home. And at the moment, this government has made sure that our interest rates are very, very low. And compared to the rates that I currently pay, which is, the average price now, to the rate that I paid when I first bought a house, going back quite a long time ago, it's very, very low. It's good.
I call Jamie Lee Ross.
Mr. Chair, the last group of people that should be lecturing this House on housing affordability should be the Labor Party, because in the 9 years that they were